Yes, everyone, good morning. Welcome back to Forever United TV. Today is the day, well, we're expecting today to be the day, the official day that we get the definites and the official announcement. Benjamin Cesco has chosen Manchester United. We've got big updates from Fabrizio Romano from late last night, going over everything that happened throughout the day as it broke down and all the thought from Manchester United this morning as well. We've got a future, well, look on Rasmus Hojlund on top of everything else that's happening. Fabrizio Romano interestingly brought in Rasmus Hojlund into the conversation last night after everything that happened. Are we seeing the end of Rasmus's time at Manchester United? Updates on that. Mason Greenwood as well. Could he actually play a part in Manchester United's summer here? More talks on that Saudi move. Just want to touch into that as well, because obviously money is all important at the moment for Manchester United in getting this Benjamin Cesco deal done. As much as United say they can actually afford Benjamin Cesco, yeah, that's all right now, but plans to get rid of players are obviously going to go into overdrive now that they have fully committed to the actual signing of Benjamin Cesco, it would seem. Obviously, official bid went in yesterday, and we are now waiting for confirmation on everything that is going down. So, looking at it and looking at the whole scenario, what we're expecting, what can we expect from today? I think it is obviously going to be big because right now there is so many things in play here, and even if you're looking at this now from the Newcastle side of things, there is a worry and a concern coming from the Alexander Isak side of things. I'm going to be talking actually on Football Talks later about that as well from the Newcastle side, but obviously it's like a domino effect with Alexander Isak comfortably then moving over to Liverpool. If Newcastle have got a big replacement, who else is as big for Newcastle if they don't get Benjamin Cesco? Their deadline was yesterday, and we haven't had any official Benjamin Cesco saying he's going to Manchester United. But as we have heard from Romano, in fact, on Romano, I'm just going to bring in Romano into it now so you can all see what exactly was said last night on his channel and where Manchester United took it from the first bid going in from them to where we finished completely last night anyway. But this is Romano's take on everything that happened yesterday.
Remember the situation 24 hours ago, let's say on Monday night, Red Bull Leipzig received the proposal from Newcastle for Benjamin Cesco. It was 80 million euros fixed, 10 million euros in add-ons. So that's the proposal from Newcastle. And then around lunchtime on Tuesday, they received the proposal from Manchester United. Proposal worth, according to my information, 75 million euros plus 10 in add-ons, so 85, 5 less than Newcastle. Well, it's important to say that after that, during the afternoon, during the evening, and during the night now, the contacts continue between all parties involved, but also between Manchester United and the agent of Benjamin Cesco. Manchester United sent their contract proposal to Cesco and his agent, and I can tell you tonight that the feeling internally at Manchester United is that Benjamin Cesco wants to go to Man United. Is that Benjamin Cesco wants to play at Old Trafford. And is that Benjamin Cesco wants to wear Manchester United shirt.
Now, come on, you can allow yourself a little bit of that moment there when Romano said Benjamin Cesco wants to wear a Manchester United shirt. Benjamin Cesco wants to play at Old Trafford. It does look like this is all lined up now for Benjamin Cesco just to step into a Manchester United shirt. Everything agreed. If you wasn't there and seen everything from yesterday, I think Romano pretty much broke it down there. I mean, where was you if you didn't see everything that happened yesterday? It was a crazy blockbuster day for Manchester United and Newcastle fans. So when we're looking at where we are actually at, just to cover everything, United's bid is in. And last night, like we said, Manchester United with their add-ons and how they've structured their add-ons, it works out to be probably just as much as what Newcastle have actually bid. So United being very clever and very crafty with how they made that approach to Leipzig and put the deal across, and that's what's been negotiated last night. But Romano, they're saying the official proposal for Benjamin Cesco on personal terms is now in place. That has been sent to Benjamin Cesco and his agent to mull over, obviously consider and sign. But as many reports have said before, mainly from German sources and mainly from people in and around Leipzig, that personal terms are not a problem for Benjamin Cesco. We heard yesterday, actually, in fact, that both Manchester United and Newcastle had agreements in place in principle, obviously, verbally agreed on personal terms for Benjamin Cesco. So there was never a problem on the personal side of things. It was convincing RB Leipzig. It was getting the fee that Leipzig wanted in place. Both Manchester United and Newcastle doing that. United going a different way, making one bid, making sure that they covered what Benjamin Cesco and RB Leipzig wanted in that one bid. And looks like from that has just triggered the chain of events, which we have seen over yesterday and now coming through into this morning, waiting officially today to hear the announcements. Because it's not just, like I said, Manchester United that need it. Newcastle need to obviously move forward right now. So there is pressure from three sides, really. Yeah, United want this deal done before the weekend. Leipzig need to move forward and need to get a replacement in for them. And Newcastle need to go and find another player. I think this is now the 9th rejection this summer for Newcastle United in players that they have wanted in different positions throughout their team. And they clearly are not going to mess around if Benjamin Cesco is flirting with Manchester United while keeping Newcastle on the line. Yeah, it's time. I think today's the day. And I think we are going to get to the bottom of what Manchester United are going to be paying Benjamin Cesco and the rest of the deal in details. Are we really bothered right now? Because let's be honest, all Manchester United need is to be competing at the highest level again. You can look at minor details, how much Manchester United have paid for players. But the breakdown of this summer has been really structuring transfers of characters and players United desperately need to bring this team up a level to compete. They don't mind win, just compete. So Benjamin Cesco in alongside Cunha and Mbumo is the more important thing here for Manchester United. And let's not forget, we just need to be up there again. And the money will come to Manchester United through having a team that performs and is obviously competitive. That's, I think, what's important to remember with this. And United, I feel, are in that position now. And when we look at what's actually happening with Manchester United on a whole this summer, I think now the fan base, are we convinced? I mean, I'll come into the comment section in a minute, but are you now convinced that Manchester United are in that place? Are you convinced that we are now here and actually around at the table competing now? I'm just going to double check. I think Ornstein has just dropped some news in as well. Manchester United closing in a deal to sign Benjamin Cesco from RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig accepted 82.5 plus 2.5 bid from Newcastle, but the striker wants Manchester United. No club-to-club agreement yet, but talks advancing towards conclusion. That in this morning, in the last few minutes from David Ornstein, actually saying Leipzig accepted Newcastle's bid, but he wants Manchester United. This was the thing. This is now what is happening here with Manchester United. The power of this football club, I think, is very, very clear. I think this, again, with what Ornstein has said this morning, they've actually accepted Newcastle's offer. That is fine. 82.5 million euros plus 2.5 bid from Newcastle, though it was less than we actually thought from the Newcastle bid, according to David Ornstein here. This is quite substantial when it comes to it, because all of a sudden, Newcastle's bid is just the same as Manchester United. So I'm going to read through what Ornstein has said here again, just so you're all completely clear. Manchester United closing in on a deal to sign Benjamin Cesco from RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig accepted an 82.5 million plus 2.5 million euro bid from Newcastle United, but the 22-year-old striker wants Manchester United. No club-to-club agreement yet, but talks advancing towards conclusion. David Ornstein would not say Manchester United moving close to a deal or advancing in talks with RB Leipzig unless there was something actually happening. And now I think we have got what we want. It wasn't 90 million euros from Newcastle. It was 85. And Manchester United have matched it according to everybody last night and the bid that Manchester United put in. So, in fact, Manchester United have probably, right now, beaten Newcastle's offer because our add-ons were actually easier to get. Well, actually, you could... No, I got that wrong there, sorry. So, what we're saying here is that Manchester United's offer is less than Newcastle's up front by 2.5 million euros. But Manchester United's add-ons are easier to get. So it would take RB Leipzig to the €85 million mark before Newcastle's 2.5 million in add-ons, if that makes sense. That's what Romano was alluding to last night. So basically, Manchester United are in and around where Newcastle are as a fixed fee when you break it all down, if you put the add-ons in. So it's 75 million pretty much in place. And then the add-ons, I'm guessing now, because we heard last night that it was 5 million of the add-ons would be easy to get. So that would put United about 80 million. I'm guessing they're probably going to tweak that to get in and around Newcastle's offer, but that's what the negotiations are now. When it's down to less than £2 million, I think with Benjamin Cesco saying he wants to go Manchester United, I think this deal will be negotiated in. And I think looking at Ornstein's tweet there, that's exactly where Manchester United are at with this now. I think that was the one sign we needed. Early doors on this day, like where we at? Are we going to get any more twists and turns in this Cesco saga? And I think Ornstein has pretty much come out this morning and said goodbye to Newcastle and hello Manchester United. The fact that Newcastle's bid was good and where we know Manchester United's bid is at kind of tells you that this isn't going to take long to actually conclude now. I'm not going to go into the details again. I kind of got confusion with what I was saying there, but pretty much Manchester United and Newcastle are in and around, barring maybe 1.5 million in pounds, a little bit of difference there, pretty much the same bid. And if Cesco wants United, Leipzig are going to be happy to negotiate with Manchester United. And this deal now is going to move forward at an extremely quick pace anyway. Excitement is building, everybody. I'm just checking if there is any more any more quotes or any more let's just see information on this today. A few other people just quoting what Ornstein has said. Now Manchester United edging closer to agreement with Leipzig. Striker wants Manchester United. Striker wants Manchester United. He wants the Reds of Manchester United. Oh, you've got to like it. You've got to like it. So there you go, everybody. Ornstein has pretty much rubber stamped it there this morning. I can't see anything else that's saying otherwise. All there is left to do is get excited as a Manchester United fan right now, because we are just about to finalise the final pieces of an absolute mega transformation of our front line. Sesko, Cunha and Mbumo all done for Manchester United before the season starts. Are we ready? Them questions. Are Manchester United falling behind? Them questions. Can Manchester United under Ineos actually make a mark on this transfer window? Them questions are all being answered. Patience was needed throughout this transfer window, and we are now coming to the end of it with some real results here. Surely even the most hardened Ineos of Manchester United doubter has to look at this and say, yeah, this isn't that bad. At least this isn't that bad, because in fact, for me, and you all know my opinion on this, I've been very positive throughout this window and very positive on where Manchester United's transfer activity has been. It's been patient, sometimes long-winded, sometimes concerning, but I think now we've learned from that Mbumo transfer, now we've learned how Manchester United are operating with the Newcastle one. I think one thing actually to take from this is that Manchester United really now going into any transfer in the future, I don't think we need to be concerned at all about anything going forward in terms of whether or not Manchester United are actually going to be in for a player and then lose out on that player. I don't think that's ever going to come about anymore. I don't think it's going to be a problem for Manchester United, because obviously now we've seen how we've operated this season. We've made sure that the players want United. We've made sure that things are in place for these signings to actually happen, and then we move forward and we make the crunch decision and we make the transfer happen. I think that's happened with all of them now. Even with Newcastle doing what they did, United winning this and beating Newcastle to the second player this summer. Honestly, right now, I cannot be happier with how Manchester United are getting business done. This is brilliant for us. This is exactly what we have all been crying out for. And the summer is actually really coming together nicely. We're unbeaten in pre-season. Yes, some dodgy performances, some good performances overall. Better than what it was last season, I think we can say that. And the players coming in will obviously still need time to gel and adapt. And throughout this season, without Champions League football or any European football, Manchester United are in a miles better place. And that, I think, is exactly where Manchester United I feel, needed to at least be through this transfer window in summer. I didn't expect us to get the quality of player that we got. I said it after that Spurs game. Now I'm going to be intrigued as to what Manchester United do this transfer window. How do we get around the obstacles of not being in Europe, not having as much money to spend, no Champions League football to attract players? I've listened to all of the podcasts. I've listened to everybody talking about everything that's going on with Manchester United. Listened to Alan Shearer on the podcast with Gary Lineker. I can't remember what that one is, saying he doesn't think that Manchester United are going to be able to get the players. Who's going to want to go to Manchester United? Simply just because we haven't got Champions League football. It's a club in deterioration. Everything that's happening now, I feel, is proof that Manchester United are still a power. They're still a force when it comes to transfers. They're still a force in football. And clear for everybody to see is that United are actually making a statement here that we are looking to rebuild this football club on the football pitch, not just commercially off it. That's all anybody has spoken about recently for Manchester United, or anyone has said that Manchester United are bothered about. This has been the main topic. What about the team? What about the football? Well, now we're answering questions, and we're answering big questions here. And as me, a Manchester United season ticket holder, a fan that's been going forever and a day to Old Trafford, watching this team, particularly over the last 10 years, taking my son for the first time, Alpha, who has grew up from being a little kid, watching Manchester United and only knowing poor football and disasters and decline, to now looking at a window like this, him growing up and seeing this transformation, like him messaging me and saying, wow, what's happening? What's going on here? And this now feels like there is a change coming at Manchester United, finally. And all of a sudden, the opening game at Old Trafford against Arsenal is an absolute humdinger. Like, this is a big billboard game no matter what anyway. But now, it's absolutely huge. Loads of people in the room getting their comments in. Please do keep piling in with this. And obviously, give me your thoughts on what you've heard and what you've seen so far. And just to clarify, just to go through it all again one more time, the latest, not just from Fabrizio Romano, but the latest this morning in the last 20 minutes from David Ornstein. A tweet has gone out, a piece on The Athletic. In fact, let's get into The Athletic's actual website here and go through what Ornstein has actually said. This is what David Ornstein has said. Manchester United are closing in on a deal to sign Benjamin Cesco from RB Leipzig. The Old Trafford side have been battling Newcastle for the 22-year-old striker, with both teams submitting offers. Newcastle initially tabled 75 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons before raising that on Monday to 80 million euros. Within 24 hours, Manchester United made a proposal of their own worth 75 million plus 10 million. Newcastle have continued working to secure a transfer, and on Tuesday a bid of 82.5 million plus 2.5 million in add-ons was accepted by Leipzig. So yes, Newcastle's bid was accepted, but Cesco wants to join Manchester United, and all parties are now aware of that as talks advance in an effort to satisfy Leipzig's expectations. While there is no club-to-club agreement yet, the situation is moving in that direction. The Slovenian forward's preference comes despite Newcastle's readiness to pay higher fee and provide Champions League football. Cesco's decision appears to have swung in the situation in their direction. Cesco scored 21 goals in all competitions last season for Leipzig and has recorded 39 goals and 8 assists in 87 appearances for the German club since signing from RB Salzburg in 2023. That I think, is the crucial part about this. Newcastle have continued working to secure a transfer, and on Tuesday had a bid of 2.5 million euros accepted by Leipzig, which prompted Manchester United into their bid. But Cesco wants to join Manchester United, and all parties are now aware of that. There's your killer line right there from Ornstein. The tweet doesn't say that, but going into The Athletic on the website right here in front of me, David Ornstein's article says Cesco wants to join Manchester United, and all parties are now aware of that. Newcastle have been informed that Manchester United is Cesco's destination. It's official, everybody. Cesco has made his mind up and is going to be a Manchester United player. You don't get any clearer than a David Ornstein tweet and an article from The Athletic saying that all parties now are aware of Benjamin Cesco's choice of where he wants to go. Bang, in it goes. Manchester United, £200 million strike force is going to be in action for the start of the season. It's time to get freaking excited, everybody. It's good, isn't it? Oh, come on, how good does it feel? Come on, it's like last night everyone was saying, let's just make sure. I was confident, like, after United's bids went in, like, everything just moved forward to a different level straight away, didn't it? And now Ornstein in the morning, Romano, what he said last night. And the video was up there before you've seen it, so I'm not going to play it again because I don't want to waste too much time because we've got a lot to get through and I've got a lot of comments to get through in a moment. But Romano said Benjamin Cesco wants United. He wants to play in a Manchester United shirt. He wants to play at Old Trafford. European football is not the problem. The prospect and the project of Manchester United for Benjamin Cesco means more. And again, United have beaten off Newcastle to yet another quality signing. Cesco is a red, everybody. It is now going to be officially officially done today, hopefully, like Ornstein said there. And trust me on this one, and you all know it as much as I do, you're all mad Man United fans who are all over X, all over the websites and news. You know what Ornstein works like, you know what Romano works like. Romano last night put out a graphic and a picture with Cesco. When Romano starts doing graphics on Twitter and starts putting images out of the player and Manchester United or the club that he's going to, you know it's happening. He's not going to commit to that because everyone will pull him on it. David Ornstein isn't going to put out an article on the Athletic website and a tweet linking to that website saying that all parties are now aware Cesco wants United unless this deal is getting close to being done. Ornstein knows this is going to be done by tomorrow. I think it's done today, personally. I think we'll be having medicals on Friday for Cesco. And again, I said it, don't be surprised if Benjamin Cesco is unveiled at Old Trafford on Saturday. My thoughts alone, not what's happening. Please don't clip me and quote me and say, look at this idiot. Well, you can if you want. Some people just do it anyway. But I actually think that going off what's been said here, we're on Wednesday, this gets agreed, that medical could be done, and United's plan could be to unveil him on Saturday, 1 week ahead of the Premier League season starting. He walks out in front of 75,000 people at Old Trafford because, believe me, there will be 75,000 people at Old Trafford for a friendly. Yes, that's how big this club is. And with free signings on show, Cesco's not going to play, obviously, but you could, if United move quick enough, get him there. And how good would that be? That would be absolutely perfect for Manchester United fans. Like, to get this deal done and then to be in a position to do that this weekend, yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to hear. That's exactly what Manchester United fans have been waiting for. And let's not forget, 3 weeks left of the transfer window and business not done yet. So let's get Cesco wrapped up and let's start looking towards bonus signings right now, really, when you look at it. And again, with Manchester United moving forward now, Rasmus Hojlund, we're going to move on to him next, but I do need to bring in the comment section. Sorry, everybody, you have waited patiently in there throughout. So I'm going to bring up the comment section now. We have a massive amount of people in the room. I think this is actually a record for the amount of people. We've got around about 4,500 live watching, which is mega. Thank you so much for all of your support, everybody. Please do pop a like on the video if you're loving the content. And if you're loving the news that Benjamin Cesco is now going to be a red, according to Ornstein and Romano, yes, it doesn't get better than that, does it? That's the one. Anyway, pop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, everybody. We're bringing you the news on location again, even when we're out and about, keeping you up to date with all Manchester United news on and off the pitch. We'll get on to Rasmus in just a moment, but let's get some comments in. There's loads in there. God, apologies everybody if I haven't, but while I'm mulling around today, please do comment below on the video when it's finished its live. I'm going to try and obviously catch through some of them comments later on as well. We do read through quite a lot, but we have thousands in right now. It's difficult to get through to everybody's comments, so let's just get in. A couple of stupid chats have come in. One from Ant says, still feel Amid is coming too. I don't know why. I said that myself, Ant. I think that this business isn't done yet for Manchester United. I think we're way off from being finished. And there is news, obviously. I mean, I go back to, I was taken off the subject when I was talking about it the other day because news was breaking about Benjamin Cesco and this big, massive bid going in from Newcastle. I remember it the other night. I think it was 2 nights ago now. And we had Laurie Whitwell talking about Manchester United going for a midfielder. And then everything got completely covered over by the news of Benjamin Cesco and Newcastle really pushing to try and get the deal done. So we've got that still to bring up. We've not even gone into detail on that yet and what Laurie Whitwell was saying, that Manchester United could be assessing the market for a midfielder even after the kickoff. So it might not come in straight away. Don't expect a midfielder to come in before Arsenal. We haven't got a lot of time obviously now, but do expect Manchester United to be on the hunt for a midfielder. I'll tell you how that might happen actually after we get through a few of these comments. So keep tuned in, everybody. Keep your comments coming in as well. Great window. Some channels say otherwise, says Nate. Well, yeah, like I said, never judge a window until the window is finished. Be patient. I will probably judge this window when it is all finished. You all know my stance when Mbeumo was going on. There's a few people losing the Reds. I was worried at one point, I'll admit that. But that was just from Brentford's side of things. But United stood strong. This window has been very, very good. And no one's going to convince me anyway otherwise. You've all got your own opinions, of course, and you're welcome to them. That's what good football debate is about. But come on, let's be serious right now. It's not been half bad. I said that at the top of the show as well. Niall says, I had dread about this summer transfer window and season ahead, but these transfers so far may change my mind and make me hopeful. For the season. Fingers crossed. Right, yeah. Look, there's still a ton of work to do. United are nowhere near ready to compete, and I think the Everton game thrown up some issues that we've got in midfield. But come on, like at least we're going to be scoring goals. We have got the creative. We've got the creative aspect to this team now. And one thing I do think is this signing of Benjamin Cesco does put some serious doubt and debate on a couple of Manchester United current players we'll get into in a moment. Not just Rasmus Hojlund either. DJ says, Adam, I think you're getting overexcited. Cesco is unproven. On paper, the front three looks good, but that's on paper. Cesco could be another Hojlund. You're trying to convince me here that this isn't as good as it was last season. A great graphic was put up on the screen last night, DJ Manic. Actually, just to break this down into where we are actually at, is that last season, Manchester United were heading in with Garnacho, Antony and Hojlund as their front three. I'm sorry. If you think I'm getting excited because them three are being replaced by Cesco, Cunha and Mbeumo, then you can go for it, mate. But I'm getting excited because that is a complete transformation in character, in quality and proven ability in this league. Yes, Cesco, you can bring up them points, but Newcastle wanted him. Arsenal wanted him. Big clubs wanted this player. And again, Manchester United have known about this player and what his capabilities are for the last 5 years. So it's a player that the club knows well. I'm not getting overexcited, I don't think. I think I'm quite valid in my excitement levels right now and where we're actually at. This is a completely different, not just on the player side of it, like I said a minute ago, Manchester United in the way that we're conducting business. Should I not be excited about that? Actually feeling confident going into a transfer that we're actually going to make it happen, even with big competition in. Let's not forget, United are not in the Champions League. I watched someone put a great clip up. I think it was Forever United on Twitter last night. Put a great clip of a Newcastle channel, like you see, 4 Newcastle fans all debating. And this one lad was going in on Manchester United, dead club, no Champions League football, where players go to die. Yet he was describing the state of our football club right now and trying to understand why players would want to go there. Yeah, talking about Manchester United, downplaying Manchester United, trying to slaughter, everyone hates us. It just goes to show the size of this football club, that even when we're in our worst hour, everyone still hates us because we are still Manchester United and we are doing things that nobody thought we would be able to. You cannot keep Manchester United down. I think even us, me, United fans, we're all doubting this summer and where we was at. I was looking at it with intrigue as to how we might manage it. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to spend near 200 million on a completely new front line. That was in my wildest dreams. Never did I think that was going to happen. From what I was watching last night, and like I said, our 4 worst attacking seasons in Premier League history in a row. So in Premier League history, the last 4 years have been United's worst in the Premier League era. And we're talking over 2 decades here now. So this is where it gets real. We have come in this summer with this structure, with Ruben Amorim, and we've just looked at where the problem is at United. 4 years of shit in front of goal. And it has been so bad for Manchester United. 4 years of it, where's the problem? Yeah, we've got a problem in defence. Yeah, we've got a problem with the goalkeeper. Midfield needs fixing, but look at that. Manchester United's XG in this time hasn't been that bad. We just don't score. And now we've just gone and spent 200 million on 3 quality forwards that are going right into the first 11. And that's the difference. These are not players that you're second guessing. These are not players that you are thinking, oh, we can see improvement in him and in time he's going to be a good player for United. It's all 3 of them straight in, let's go. That hasn't happened in a long time. United have made transfers and United have moved in the transfer market before, but not in a way like we are doing right now. And that's the difference. That's why I'm getting excited. That's why everything is starting to really bubble up a little bit now. And opposition fans are flapping. They are absolutely flapping right now with Manchester United and what we're doing. And it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. It makes you feel like we're back in the 90s and the early 2000s again. And I remember them as a kid growing up. You used to be able to walk around knowing that United were top dogs. Now we're a laughing stock. Now everybody's laughing at Manchester United because of where we are. But you know what? They can't ignore us and they still hate us. And this is proof in that. What we need now is for all of this, and this is where this bit goes on to the next level, we need all of this to actually come through on the pitch and actually work. Because it's all right watching the transfer window, and on paper, like DJ, I can't remember the second name, sorry mate, and you know what I'm alluding to. Like I said in the comment there, like, yeah, it now needs to be, I feel, proven on the pitch, and Ruben needs to start walking. Talking is done. Let's see what happens on the pitch now. But again, I'll go back to it. Time on the training ground for Ruben Amorim and to set the stall out for Manchester United. Not having Champions League football or European football this season could be an absolute blessing in disguise for the future of this football club. We needed to back it up in a transfer market where we actually looked at this window and said, we need to make signings this window that are going to work for this club now and going forward for the next 5 years to build a foundation for all of the younger signings that are coming in behind these players to actually work now and move for Manchester United. This, I think, is what's happening right now. This is the difference in this window. Everybody been moaning, yeah, it's the young kids. We're signing all of these young teenagers and they're all coming through. That's not happening right now. So what United have done, no Champions League football. They believe they've got the right coach. Time to train, trying to build the foundation and take the culture out of Manchester United that was there and redo that, restructure that. Bring the players in that are going to work now, that have still got time to work for the next few years. Not players that are going to be there for 2 or 3 years that are good. These are players that are going to be here for the next 5 to 6 years in Cunha and in Mbumo. Cesco even more than that. And then you've got the young kids coming through past that. So effectively, we have restructured and rebuilt Manchester United in 2 transfer windows under Ineos that, yes, I get Ineos have a problem and they have issues elsewhere with this, with Manchester United, ticketing and whatnot and fleecing the fans. Not happy at all, yes. But in terms of what's happening, transfer structure and on the field, they're backing their man. And this summer and this season, I think it has to work for Ruben, obviously. But I think this is now a foundation to going forward. And Ruben Amorim said that in the press conference last season. This transfer window has to be the foundation for moving forward for Manchester United in transfer windows to come. That's where Manchester United need to get this window right. One comment there triggers all of that 3-minute rant from me. Well, not so much a rant, but just trying to make that point there. I'm going to get through a few more of your comments on this one. Quickly into a few of your super chats. Quickly, Brian says, I can't believe how good this window has been. Think how badly we wanted this around Christmas time last year. Will Cesco play against Arsenal? That, again, comes down to how quickly this deal is done, how fit Cesco is, and what Ruben feels he needs to be like to be in the team. Obviously, we didn't play in Mbumo for 2 games, so he wasn't happy with where his fitness levels were, clearly. So yeah, let's see if there is any change around his stance, how fit Cesco is. It's different at every single club. Ruben will want to obviously make sure that he is in a position where he can keep up with the rest of the players. So I don't have my money at the moment. If we get him done for Friday and he's in and around for this weekend and he's got a full week's training, I think he could start. We'll get on to Rasmus in a minute because Rasmus is still a part of this football club as well. Don't forget that. What's with the obsession in getting rid of Rasmus? In every other position, we have stiff competition, both wings, the 10s, centre-backs, and with Sesko now striker, only keeper and central midfield left. Hojlund hung to dry. There is no obsession with getting rid of Rasmus Hojlund. Thanks for the super chats, Carlson, on this one. I brought Rasmus Hojlund up because Fabrizio Romano was talking about him. I'm only bringing up and talking about him because this is the talk of what's going on right now. Manchester United, apparently, according to Simon Stone, according to Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic, according to Fabrizio Romano, the biggest journalist out there, biggest agent journalist out there in the know that there is saying that Rasmus Hojlund could be on his way out of Manchester United. No witch hunt. I have said clearly on this channel before that I would like to have Rasmus Hojlund in behind Cesco. Strength in depth, like you said, mate. That's exactly where United need to be. Every other position in this squad has 2 or 3 players there. At centre-back, we've got 7 centre-backs. Goalkeeper, deal with that later in the window, possibly, maybe, we will see. And in terms of, midfield, debatable. We have got strength there, but just quality is lacking regarding that side of things. When it comes to striker, you're dead right. We need more. So, no, I'm not really having a go. I don't think Rasmus Hojlund, it's a witch hunt against him. We're not desperately trying to get him out. We are obviously up against it with Rasmus Hojlund. He isn't that good. And he proved that in the Premier League last season. But United right now, I feel, obviously, and they feel within the club, and this is why I'm guessing these rumours are there for Rasmus, are that he is one that is obviously wanted out of the door at Manchester United. So, yeah, I think that we're talking about him simply because of the noises going around that he could be used to bring money back into Manchester United. That's it. And that's straight from Romano. It's not what we're saying. I think Rasmus is good to have for depth. I would love him to stay. I would love the fact that Manchester United could go out and buy these players and not have to sell players to buy them, because it would really put pressure on that bomb squad as to what their decisions are. Because I'm telling you right now, them agents of them players were thinking that United needed to sell them and they could have got what price they wanted for them. And now look at what United are doing. They're making something happen here that nobody thought we could do. Nobody thought that Manchester United, and nobody quoted Manchester United spending the amount of money that we've spent already. It's about the structure. It's about how we make the instalments. It's about being clever. It's about having football people next to business people and people running the football club properly. And this is what United are doing right now. Every other football fan is absolutely bricking it in the case that Manchester United might get it right. If United get things right, the infrastructure at this football club is limitless. And we all know it. We know it, and every other fan knows it. We've just pissed it up the wall the last 10 years and allowed everybody to overtake us. So yes, that's what we're saying. And again, with Rasmus Hojlund, quickly on that one, Rasmus Hojlund was offered. Leipzig wanted Rasmus Hojlund, and that one was completely cut off and shut down instantly. That was what Romano said on Rasmus Hojlund. He didn't want to go. I think Romano saying that the Rasmus story was shut down instantly was when Rasmus came out into the mix zone and asked, like Larry Whitwell said over in the States, it's unheard of this, by the way, I can tell you it for nothing. Rasmus Hojlund coming out, or any player coming out into the mix zone and saying, who wants to speak to me? Unprecedented. That means he's got something he wants to get off his chest. He wants to be a United player. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go to Leipzig. I would want to stay at my boyhood favourite football club, United, and prove my worth. I hope he stays. I do. I'm not bothered with Rasmus being in the squad. He's just not a starter. He will learn from the bench more than he ever will in having pressure on him being Manchester United's #1 striker. Guaranteed. He will become a better player if he's a #2 at Manchester United. And if he wants to fight for his place, I don't think there's any Manchester United fan bothered of Rasmus Hojlund going for 30 million. We'd rather him stay and be worth more and go for 50 million maybe next summer or something like that. So, yeah, I don't think there's any witch hunt at all. I think United fans just wanted somebody else in. And Rasmus and Sesko, with Chido behind them, Xerxes occasionally, a couple of false nines in Cunha, Xerxes, Bruno. Yeah, more than enough depth. Depth. Even in a season without European football. Gia says, can you update on midfield? Surely one will sign. We're going to do that in just a moment. Well done on your channel, Adam. I remember from the channel you've been on it, and it just warms my heart to see you're doing so well on your own, mate. Thank you so much for that. That's Jermaine, thank you for that super chat there. Jermaine, appreciate that, my man. Thank you so much. I love comments like that. It's people who have been with the channel a long time. I love you just as much as the people that are joining now. It is a Manchester United football family here, and we try to build a good community. The mods are always there to try and help. The other thing that you will be deleted for on this channel is if you are abusive or clearly trying to cause a problem, and the mods will deal with you. Other than that, don't have to agree with me. Don't. Completely disagree with me if you want. This is what football debate's about. It's not just my voice. This channel is everybody's voice. I'm just saying how I think things are going down. You're giving your opinions on that. And we're having a good old chinwag about what Manchester United are doing and how we feel as a fan base we can move forward. By the way, everybody, again, Ornstein, if you are just joining us, pretty much rubber stamped the Cesco move to Manchester United this morning. We've gone off on a tangent there about the future and what we're building here, but the breaking news this morning was David Ornstein coming out saying that a bid from Newcastle was accepted by Leipzig, which then prompted Manchester United into action. And now Cesco has said he wants United. Ornstein confirming on the website today, the Athletic website, that all parties now know that Cesco wants United, and United are now closing in on the deal. United are around about 2.5 million euros behind Newcastle's bid of guaranteed money for Benjamin Cesco. That's where we're actually at. On paper, it doesn't look like that, but the breakdown of the add-ons and how easy they are to get puts United right in there with Newcastle's bid. So United actually competitively bidding as well on this. Not completely lowballing this offer, but a 85 million euro bid from Newcastle was accepted. It wasn't 90, it was 80. So that was wrong as well. So they're at 85. United are at 80. But our guaranteed money is right up there with what Newcastle are offering as well. So it was the mark that Leipzig wanted. United have hit it. Cesco's seen proof of that. Let's do this deal. Cesco wants to be a Red, like Romano said. He wants to wear the Man United shirt. He wants to play at Old Trafford. This was the bigger deal. And like Plettenberg said, there was always a feeling that Benjamin Cesco wanted Manchester United. And we said that from the start. And Romano, all the way through this saga, said it's the player. It doesn't matter about the bids. The fact that Newcastle's bid was accepted tells you everything. All United did was come in with another one, and Benjamin Cesco went, I'll have them. It was right all along. Romano was right all along. Andreas with a super chat says, hi Adam, we are acting like a big club finally, still hoping for a goalkeeper and a midfielder. Andreas, you're dead right about that. Ant says, we said last summer things are looking different. Yeah, we did. And the signings we made last summer I thought were decent. I thought they were all good signings last summer, but obviously we had the change of manager, and that was the big mess up really in Manchester United's approach, I feel, to the transfer window. It was all for Eric Ten Hag. The mistake Ineos made was Ten Hag in keeping him. They weren't certain on him. They should have made that decision. I'm sure they ruled that decision because it did set United back a little bit. But maybe that happened for a reason. Maybe we needed this restructure this summer without European football. Maybe this is the turning points. If, buts and maybes. And I know what you're going to say, Adam, we're still not on the pitch playing football yet. I know. But I'm only talking about what's happening now. And if you are not happy with what's happening now, I question you in terms of everything. Like, how can you not be impressed with what's happened so far? You're hard pushed. I know you are. Anyway, that's to the doubters out there anyway. Graham says, expect Cunha or Mbumo at 9 if Rasmus leaves. Mount and Ahmad will supplement the 10 positions. I don't think so, mate. I don't. I think if that happens, I think it'll be Bruno at 10 alongside ENQUIRIES or Mbumo. And then Rasmus up front. I think that will be Ahmad at wing back. And I think he'll play Casemiro Agate as safeties for the Arsenal game, personally. I think that's how he'll do it. I actually think Rasmus will play. If he's not gone, I think Rasmus will play against Arsenal, personally. I really do. It all depends if he goes now in the next 10 days. I think that's what we're looking at for Rasmus. Otherwise, I think he plays. Brian says, get him in now for the last friendly game and bring him on at half-time. I don't think he's got any chance of playing in the friendly this weekend, knowing what Ruben's like. He'll want to fully assess him. He won't have time to do that. There's no chance that Cesco plays. I know what you're saying, Brian, and that would be nice, but there's no way that he plays this weekend. Definitely not. In terms of the likes, everybody's happy because we're over 1,000 likes without me even asking, really. So thank you again. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Every one of you are enjoying the content and are loving Manchester United acting like Manchester United again. It feels good, doesn't it? It does. Let's get some more comments in on this as well. Thank you for all of the super chats, everybody. Absolutely love it. Really appreciate it as well. Ricardo says, hi Adam, before everyone writes Rasmus off, they need to do a little history lesson. Chelsea thought De Bruyne and Salah were not good enough. The rest, as they say, is history. A little patience or a loan. Look, on that one, I get what you're trying to say there but sometimes players need the move before they come back, which is good that you've actually put in the loan offer there, Ricardo. That could be a thing for Rasmus. If United loaned him and felt like we had enough, would be the best outcome in all of this, because his wages off the book for a season. We may get a little money in a loan fee, and Rasmus will become a better player elsewhere. Like at United, he needs to learn as a number 2. If he goes elsewhere and he's a number 1, it might suit him better. Yes, you have to sometimes go down to come back up. Sometimes you make the move too quickly in your career. I think maybe Liam Delap did that at Chelsea as well, and we'll see if that's proven right this season. Sometimes they go bang, too far. One club in between, which is why United have always had a problem in finding these little gems like what Bournemouth, Brentford and Brighton do. No disrespect to them, but they're at their level. That's what that club is known for, and that's what the expectation is. There is a football hierarchy and there is a pecking order. You cannot just jump right to the biggest club instantly and be a success. The pressure is immense and it is too much for players to handle. There are certain players, yes, that absolutely smash it. No surprise that a lot of them actually come through them clubs' academies and are used to what that club is. The smaller clubs, it just doesn't work that way. So United know that they can't do what Brentford and Brighton do. It's nice when you find the odd one here and there that doesn't cost the club a lot of money, but again, it's difficult to integrate a player at Manchester United, more difficult than it is to do it at other football clubs, with the lesser sort of side of things anyway, in terms of players that we've never heard of before that come out of nowhere. United are probably not going to do that or ever have the chance to do that. It's different for this football club to everybody else. And I think that's not just with United. You could say that's Manchester City, that's obviously an Arsenal, Liverpool. You don't just pick them out of thin air. These clubs have to go out and buy. Like Liverpool right now, look at what they've bought. Look at the players that they're going for. Look at what Arsenal are doing. Look at what Chelsea are doing. Look at what, obviously, Manchester City. Look at what all of these big clubs are trying to do. They need the ready-made players, as well as some of their own younger players to come through. It's like the best business Chelsea ever did was getting Cole Palmer. And everybody actually questioned that move at the time, didn't they? But look what's happened there. It's absolutely turned completely around and taken everybody by surprise. Everyone was thinking that's way too much for a player that's not playing for Manchester City. I guarantee you it'll be the same with other players that are not getting game time at big clubs. They'll go away somewhere else that have got a space for them in their side, and bang, they will make it happen. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes you have to find another club and then move forward. On what Laurie Whitwell said regarding Manchester United's midfield hunt as well, no particular player in the frame just yet. Romano has hinted to a midfielder that is more athletic. There's like this secret midfielder that nobody knows who it is. We kind of can guess who it might be, but nobody knows for definite. But United are looking for a midfielder Toby Collier is going to go out on loan, is the word, as we already know. And obviously, Bruno Fernandes now dropping into 8 because of the likes of Benjamin Cesco coming through. This, I think, is exactly where Manchester United are with their hunt for a midfield. And now it's been forced by what we've done in the market already with Cesco and Bumo and Cunha coming in. It's pushed Bruno back. So now we've only got one position next to Bruno Fernandes, really. I feel like, I've said this before, Ugarte and Mainoo's position in this club is going to come under scrutiny now, and we will see what happens. We will see everything that goes down with the midfielder over the next coming weeks. But Whitwell did say United would assess it even after the start of the season, up to the end of the window. The opportunities that come around through selling other players. I think United, for the midfielder, though, do have to sell players now. So that's where we're at. Right, let's get through a few headlines that have just come in while we've been live again. Obviously, we've had the Ornstein one, which is obviously the big one, the important one. Just going through the other news now and what's out there. So from Sky Germany, this has just come out. As of this morning, it's still the case that Newcastle's offer is higher than Manchester United. However, in talks with Leipzig, Manchester United have moved their base fee closer to €80 million plus possible add-ons. The structure of the offer is still being discussed. Leipzig have not yet accepted Manchester United's current bid. It would need further improvement, while Newcastle's offer meets the requirements. Again, Sky Germany there pretty much saying what I said a moment ago with where Manchester United are actually at right now, is that we are not a million miles away with our opening bid. And I think a bit of tweaking here and there, structure of the deal. United just needed to make a bid in and around the ballpark figure to convince Cesco. Now Cesco's on board, like Ornstein said and like what Romano said. United will work with Leipzig to get this deal done now. There was a sense last week when Manchester United decided to go for Benjamin Cesco that they would be able to get the deal done. Now closing in. I'm just going to bring up the whole story here. Sorry, I've only got a part of it on my screen. Have me 1 second. This is from Laurie Whitwell. There was a sense that they would be able to get the deal done. Now closing in. How they can afford is explored there's someone actually doing a piece here, and Laurie Whitwell has tweeted it out on how Manchester United could actually get this deal done, or how they could afford it. I think a few people have brought this up before, and how Manchester United have done things behind the scenes that nobody knows about, and how they're able to afford these signings and make it actually happen. And I think this has been part of the story that no one's really been interested in, but when the question is asked about how Manchester United afford it, there is articles actually out there saying how United have managed to get this done. I think, like I said, you don't really need to go into too much detail on this, but there is a clear sort of mission from Manchester United, from within the club, to put everything into the playing side of things rather than spending money elsewhere. A lot of what United have saved and made money-wise is going into the playing staff. There is a full article there that we could look into in another video, I'm sure. But to break it down, just summarise it all, it's that they have saved money and made money elsewhere and ploughed it into the first team to give Ruben Amorim the best chance this season. And I think that is probably the most important thing to look at throughout, in terms of how Manchester United have got the business done this summer. Again, that's the boring stuff. The good stuff is Manchester United look like they're moving towards getting this deal clinched today. It's going to be massive. It's going to be a big day for United, and we'll have you covered on everything that's happening. There's loads of stuff that are just coming in and happening as I speak, actually. Plettenberg has just come out now with another tweet, which I'm just going to get up on my screen. Manchester United have sent an improved offer for Benjamin Cesco of a 70 million fixed fee plus add-ons. An agreement is yet to be reached with Leipzig, but this, I think, is moving ever closer. Let's just have a quick look here again at this one. Manchester United have improved their offer and are currently proposing around 80 million euros as a fixed fee now, plus add-ons. Previously 75 plus 10, so United are already up now to 80 million euros. They've matched what Newcastle have put down. So, however, there is still no agreement with Leipzig. Marcel Schaefer has not accepted the current offer as of this morning at 10 to 10 a.m. And that's German time. So that, I think, is clear to me that Manchester United are pretty much near enough there with it, tweaking it to a point where we have got that initial fee down, what Leipzig want. To break it, to look at it in detail, or just to summarise it all again, sorry. Newcastle's bid of 82.5 million euros plus 2.5 million euros was accepted. Ornstein said that was accepted. That's in The Athletic this morning. Plettenberg has just come out and said, as of this morning, United's bid now is up at 80 million euros. We're talking 2.5 million euros here. The deal is going to be done. There's no way United lose this from this point. If you're already at 70 million down payment, as in that's the guaranteed money, this deal will be finalised today. This deal is going to get done. I think Cesco's already on his way to Carrington. For me, with that, I think the medical is going to be booked in. It's going to be a big week for United. New Carrington being unveiled as well. Cesco, first player in, signed to maybe have a medical at the New Carrington. Obviously, players have been having medicals elsewhere with the new refurbishment going on at the football club. So obviously, it's state-of-the-art training facilities now at Carrington for Manchester United. So Benjamin Sesko looks like he's going to be the first one going through everything that's necessary for his medical at Carrington, it would seem, the New Carrington. But yeah, just to go over everything that has happened, it's been an absolute whirlwind of a morning and a show. To break down the whole gist of everything is that Manchester United have upped their bid with RB Leipzig. They're getting closer. Cesco wants Manchester United. Ornstein has said that all parties are now aware that Cesco only wants Manchester United, including Newcastle. United are speaking with Leipzig. This deal is now closing in. It's already moved to a point where United's initial payments or guaranteed money is 70 million. That's gone up already. This, by all accounts, and everybody's speaking about it this morning now, is all but done. United are about to sign Benjamin Cesco. Quick super chat in from DOP says, Adam, United will be foolish to sell Hojlund. We can't go through season with one striker. What happens when Cesco gets injured? Probably play Cunha or Xerxes, I'm guessing. That would be the easiest sort of answer to that one. 1,200 likes. Absolutely amazing. We actually broke a record today, everybody. We had 5,000 people live watching for the first time on one of the transfer shows. Just shows you how big the channel is getting, how strong the channel is getting, and the community behind it. Thank you, everyone, again. Absolutely amazing. I love it, and I love all of your inputs and all of your comments in on everything, on all of the shows that we do. Quickly, I've just got to make sure I've not, because I have missed out a few little super chats as well. Ant says, get a midfield and a goalkeeper as well. And I'm streaking at Old Trafford. Ant's going to get banned from Old Trafford if United make a goalkeeper and a midfielder signing. All defences will be shitting themselves. United, says Fez in the super chat. Stu has just renewed his membership as well. 17 months a member. Mega. One of our mods there, one of our top mods, Stu, when he says Cesco sales, goalkeeper sales, midfielder is a big tick. Let's see. Sternlove just renewed his membership as well. If these signings fail, United need to get an exorcist at Old Trafford. Do you think we will sign a goalkeeper, midfielder, or both based on sales? Based on sales, Manchester United can sign both and are in for both. That's all we can say on this one when it comes to what else might happen past the signing of Benjamin Cesco anyway. A few other things coming up right now. Matthias Cunha's signing fell into 2024-25 for accounting purposes. Therefore, it's not included in the new financial year. Right, okay, that was one of the actual bits from the Laurie Whitwell article on how Manchester United are affording this summer. Apparently, Matthias Cunha was bought last season. That's on the books. So the Cunha money didn't actually come into this year's accounting. So this is how Manchester United have made that happen. This, again, from The Athletic, this is a piece in terms of what can happen now after Benjamin Cesco. Manchester United still have room to spend if they choose to. While cash flow now requires more careful management than in previous years at Old Trafford, recent decisions combined with the club's ongoing borrowing power means that there are still financial avenues open to them. So The Athletic this morning are actually, on top of saying that Cesco is going to be a Manchester United player, are saying that there is the potential, and we say potential, of more signings to come. So everybody asking questions on whether United can continue to sign players. The answer to that question is yes. Matthias Cunha and that 62.5 million wasn't in this year's finances. So effectively, all we've spent so far this summer is Bryan Mbeumo's 65 million guaranteed. That's it for United. So let's look at it this way. It's costing us around 16 million for Bryan Mbeumo so far this summer. Manchester United in the same financial year have saved the exact amount of money in Marcus Rashford's wages. You see where we're going with this here. If you structure the deals right, if you sell well and move other players off the books, the fact that Manchester United have been so mismanaged before and we're paying so much for players, and some of these players now moving on, gives us massive amounts of room. And this is why all of the football clubs are bricking it right now. Because if United get it right, and we're getting this done in our worst ever time in the Premier League era, if we get it right, then everybody's going to be left for dead. And Manchester United could actually return to the top. If, and it's the big if, because this is all good and well, and this is all the talking and all the stuff behind the scenes. All that matters for us is what happens on the pitch. And all that matters for Manchester United's bank account is United being successful on the pitch. Put them together and you might have something. But United this morning, and the news coming out is the bid is up. It's up to 80 million for Benjamin Cesco. David Ornstein has said all parties now aware that Cesco wants United. This deal is going to be concluded. This deal is going to be done. And United are going to have a new striker by the end of this week, by the sounds of it. If anything else breaks, I will be all over it and I'll bring you the updates throughout the day. Of course I will. But all that's left for me to say right now is absolutely mega show this morning, everybody. Like I said, we broke all numbers and records this morning on the show. It's excitement amongst the Manchester United fan base. Thank you, mods. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, all the new subscribers that have jumped on board on this one show alone just this morning. Welcome along to Forever United TV. We let you have your say as well, so please do get into the comments section now when the video is finished. I will check through all of them throughout the day. And let's see now what happens. We're expecting Cesco to be a red. But for us here on Forever United TV, cheers everyone.